Over at the Agriculture Building, the State Fair Butter Cow has a colorful partner this year. Peter Hamlin makes the introductions.
Well, we've all seen what the butter cow and the butter pony look like from outside. We're going in the back way now to talk with the artist Duffy Lyon. Here's where all the butter comes from, 30-pound tubs of it. And we're going to go inside the refrigerator now and watch everything being made. Hi Duffy, how are you?
Hi Peter, how are you today?
Cold. Boy, how cold is it exactly in here?
42 degrees.
Not really.
Well, I hope you never take up sculpting ice cream for a hobby, okay?
That would be really, really cold.
Well, this is terrific. Duffy Lyon is a famous sculptor. You've been at the Iowa State Fair for many years, and as we can see from the gathering crowds, this is still a very popular exhibit. The butter cow is what you're known for, but you have now a butter carousel pony. How long have you been at the Iowa State Fair?
34 years this year.
Oh, now that's a tradition.
And I learn something every year.
Oh, that's so great. And how long have you been here working on this particular pony?
Let's see, this is the third day. I've done 2 days' work on him so far.
Well, I want to just start by kind of getting a picture of how you get the whole process going. What is the first thing you do when you plan a sculpture?
I drew a sculpture or a pattern on a large sheet of cardboard and stand back from it and make sure everything's in the right place. And then I designed the pattern right on it. The metal for where the legs have to be bent and the wooden center core.
A really rough wooden metal skeleton of
and
the
then
horse?
to keep the soft butter from sliding off of it until it firms up, there's hardware cloth. And it's hard on fingers, but it really holds the butter in the cold air.
And then you start glopping on a bunch of butter. Is that?
It was like the butter in one hand and the butter in another, all set to go to work, and my nose itches.
Well, I'm sure there are lots of little problems like your nose itching when your hands are filled with butter. And I'm also kind of curious, what is it about butter that you like so much as a medium that makes you put up with the temperature and the inconvenience?
First of all, I soften it out in the warm air. A good temperature for butter is 65 degrees. It's still pliable. Better than wet clay because wet clay picks up fingerprints and things like this, and you can kind of get away from that with the butter. And then it sets up in about 20 minutes, and you can add another layer, and you just keep adding layers. I usually get in trouble if I go too fast because something will break loose, so I have to kind of do it layer by layer.
A question that must occur to these many people who come by here is, how did you get started making butter cows? I mean, that's not something that the average person even thinks about doing.
You know, I had seen one when I started college, and then when I was married and had some of my family, I saw a photograph of one that I knew the boss. I says, I can do better than this. I really prefer things that look like things really are.
So you have a background in animal science and then a practical farm background now, and then you put that into this work and combine it with your artistic imagination.
Another thing that helped were the judging classes, because we tried to pick out the best one all the time. And
how many pounds of butter would you say?
350 on this now. She's got about 550.
Wow. And this is, I mean, what happens to all this butter? Is this...
we put it back in the tub.
So at the end of the fair, the butter goes back in tubs and you can reuse it again for another...
Yes. Some of this has been used 5 times and sometimes 3. We started out with a 1,500-pound cache of butter, and it's, of course, dwindles. And this year I'm using color because we're not going to use this anymore, and it'll probably end up in dog food. It isn't wasted.